since the range nerf on it. It just works out nicely to be able to jump to the coffin in the center, in the case you need to, or jump into the dungeon in those cases
Dungeon.
as well.
I love how that's
The
a thing.
dungeon.
I love that that's a thing too. I'm so nervous for both of these teams. This is intense. This is Ruins of War. I don't even know what to expect right now.
Yeah, Gateway does come out, and it's going as a to the dungeon sort of setup. Actually gets a cheap shot onto Chanimal's there for a second. He's going to pop the Nessper's going to pop the the Adrenaline Rush. Does get caught into a Shadow Fury for about half of that, not getting quite as much as he maybe wanted out of this. In fact, Method is dealing with this very, very well in the midst of all of this. Cdew not taking too much damage and able to keep his team topped off pretty well. In fact, he's actually just purging like crazy, getting rid of as many buffs as he can, and trying to limit the amount of healing that Pinkrangerz can put out. Pinkrangerz actually forced to Barkskin in the middle of that. No cooldowns have come out, no major cooldowns at least, have come out of defensive cooldowns have come out of Cdew's team yet at this point. There's the kidney shot, full kidney onto Cdew. Doesn't look like Nessper has Killing Spree or is going to use Killing Spree at this point, though. He's just trying to get him to spend cooldowns so that he doesn't have him available when he likes to, or when he wants to use his Killing Spree a little bit later. But there's a big heal onto Cdew, and he's going to be just fine.
Using that Ore Mastery to top himself off, and if we look, I mean, this RLD, all three of them use their Trinket in the opener, so Pinkrangerz is very susceptible to CC right now, but Cdew still taking the brunt of the damage. That red buff Killing Spree coming out from Nessper onto Cdew, and Cdew having to use his Trinket Link once again in response. At the same time, I mean, Chanimals and Smexxin taking a lot of damage, but Pinkrangerz in a little bit of trouble right now, getting trained down by Smexxin. Nessper as well rotting at the moment, and this WLS it has a lot more pressure this game than they did last, that's for sure. Nessper having to play a little bit defensive, spamming out that feint, making sure he stays in range of Pinkrangerz, but now that he has these hots, he's going to go offensive onto Cdew. And Cdew still hovering around 50%, gets caught into the full kitty. The safeguard comes out from Smexxin, trying to reduce a little bit of damage onto Cdew from Nessper right now, and he's still hovering around 30%. And this could be the second Spirit Link from Cdew if he's not able to get any cast off on himself, trying to fake those kicks. The Ascendance does come out, and he's going to use that Ascendance to get some additional healing out at the moment.
Yeah, just trying to top himself up and his team at this point and make sure that they can push this advantage as much as they can, because I do feel like they have a little bit of an advantage in terms of the overall rot damage at the moment. Pinkrangerz is working really, really hard trying to keep his team up, and he's not actually being very successful at the moment. Both Nessper and 80s fan are dipping around 60% health. Of course, Cdew at 60% as well. Smexxin has now popped Avatar, trying to make some damage happen. Looks like he was going on a Nessper. No, they're going to switch over onto 80s fan here very briefly, and I'm actually not sure who they're focusing on at the moment. It's kind of hard to tell because both of their health, everybody's health is dipping so low. Cdew, though, in that full kidney, so low right now, he's going to have to gateway out there. Fortunately, he was sitting right on that gateway. That's a perfect positioning for that gateway for him. He's trying to go down into the dungeon here and keep himself alive. Has to use the Earth Shield on himself, but he amazingly is able to actually heal through all that damage, and he's still alive. The Howl comes out, but it's not going to matter too much. And they're trying now to turn this back around and try to push out a little bit more damage, as Chanimals is just now finishing his Dark Soul Tenderloin, Cdew into a full kidney yet again, and trying as best as he can to keep himself alive. He does not have any links left. His Trinket is now off of cooldown, so he should be able to feel a little bit safer with that. And Pinkrangerz is out of mana. He's actually completely at this point. He's only got 11k. That's actually really surprising to me.
Yeah, this is a very mana-intensive fight for both healers. Pinkrangerz is actually trying to sit down for a drink right now. Does get that Shadow Meld drink. Doesn't get too much mana from that. Smexxin doing an excellent job chasing him down. Pinkrangerz using that gate as well as Bear Form, but Cdew caught into the full kidney shot, hovering around 40% HP, having to trinket that. The Garrote comes out, Safeguard coming in from Smexxin to try to reduce some of that damage, but Nessper's in trouble too. Pinkrangerz having a really hard time healing up his team right now. He has no mana left. He's at 2% mana. The Barskin comes out, and Smexxin's still all over him. Ironbark comes out as well, and Smexxin relentlessly chasing him down at the moment. And
Yeah,
they're just not going to let him drink, and this whole team is rotting so badly right now. Nesper's in trouble, and now that Ironbark and Barskin have both faded, but at the same time, Smexxin caught into that kidney shot. The red buff Killing Spree comes out from Nessper. Smexxin using those heals as well as parries to keep himself alive, and Pinkrangerz has no mana to heal, and the slam dunk comes out from Smexxin to execute onto Nessper, and it's going to be 1-1.
Wow.
That was a beautiful finish from Smexxin there. The heroic leap into the execute. I just think it looks cool, honestly.
I mean, there was one point where Cdew used his last Spirit Link, and it died so fast that I didn't even see the animation. Let's take a quick look at that replay. Pinkrangerz is just completely tapped on mana, and Smexxin, he just turns around and hits Nessper and peels Nessper. That's the blind. They could have landed the skill here. I mean, they got so close. The kidney shot goes out onto Smexxin, and the full blind onto Cdew, but Smexxin was able to get that die by the sword off at the last second, get Nessper into the execute range, and I believe that heroic leap execute is going to land the kill. But that wasn't even dampening, guys. That's actually incredible. Yeah. So
yeah, when you see Cdew at 20% mana and Pinkrangerz completely 5 minutes into the game, you know there's a lot of damage that's been going out, and both healers were just working their asses off trying to keep everybody alive through that whole thing. It was a lot of work, but Cdew's team method was able to pull out the win.
So that being said, guys, it is 1-1, and the next win is going to determine who advances in this winner's bracket. But it is also RLDream Team's map choice, and you know where we're going, don't you?
I mean, they're probably gonna choose like Nagrand or something. I'm just kidding.
Probably Nagrand. We're actually just gonna like take that rule away and let them do Nagrand twice. No, I'm just kidding. I'll see you guys in Dalaran Sewers. Alright, boys. Welcome to the Grand Arena. Or, I'm sorry. Dalaran Sewers. I trolled myself, man.
So, you trolled yourself too hard.
I mean, every time we've seen this matchup, Nessper's RLDream Team has won on this map, so them actually winning on Nagrand was a critical element to them potentially winning this matchup, because this is their best map.
Yeah, for sure. It's just so close range that it's really hard for anybody, for Cdew or Chanimals really, but mostly Cdew, to be able to get away from the other team. Nessper coming in here right away, trying to get a sap off. Does get a full sap onto Chanimals. That's going to get broken right away with the Unbound Will. Now getting a full kidney onto Tenderloin, or excuse me, onto Cdew. I just keep seeing that name, and it's all I can do is just say it. Another kidney onto Cdew. And the Garrote as well. Cdew's taking a ton of damage right now. Hasn't used any of his major cooldowns just yet. He's just trying to hold on to those as long as he possibly can, because that's how Cdew operates. He's some sort of like Zen master artist. He will hold on to his cooldowns until he absolutely has to use them. Pops the Earthbind as well in the middle of that, and he still hasn't actually had to use a cooldown. He hasn't even, like, he dropped his Elemental. That's the biggest cooldown he's used yet at this point. Cdew doing a masterful job of dealing with the ridiculous amount of damage that's coming out onto him right now.
He does get away. He's able to channel up a heal and sort of top himself off, but the full kidney shot killing spree comes out. Cdew able to top himself off right before that happens, though, so he's going to be able to get away with not trinketing that red buff killing spree. Beautifully done by Cdew. Only having to use one Spirit Link in exchange for that red buff killing spree, which is the best that's happened in the series so far. And 80s fan taking a lot of damage. Chanimal has his Demon Soul out right now. And he's almost in execute range. He's down to around 25%. The Shockwave comes out on a Pinkrangerz. 10% HP. If he can get the execute, he's just going to die. Pinkrangerz does get some heals out to him. The Haunts come out. Ironbark comes up. And Smexxin desperately wants to get the execute on him, but he was caught into that full blind. Chanimal's getting still so much damage, and another dunk comes out from Smexxin.
Wow.
And,
wow.
It's going to be 2-1.
That's
incredible. That was a good blind from Nessper onto Smexxin, but Chanimal's just able to get out those haunts, keep up the CC onto Pinkrangerz, and keep them low.
Wow, that's incredible.
Brilliantly executed there. Very, very well done. That was some impressive play that we saw out of Cdew, Chanimals, and Smexxin in that match.
Look how low this Warlock 80s fan. He's just sitting so low with the Drain Soul coming out. Ironbark up. Pinkrangerz just not able to keep him offensive or alive in that